Welcome to episode 208 of my music series Discover. Today, we're going to continue my journey through adversity. It might be yours as well. I feel that music, I hope, I keep spouting this as if it's a fact, and it sometimes works, that music can make us rise above. And today, we're going to listen to Aphex Twin, selected ambient works, 85 to 92. Okay. The journey into techno, ambient. Oh. Wow. Okay. It's funny, isn't it? I'm immediately transported back to playing my PlayStation in 1994. The end of 94. Playing Wipeout. Okay, straight away. Hi-hat work. Bouncing beach ball bass drum. And those ethereal vocals. Now, Aphex Twin was going on through my youth. Right? And I was in bands, indie bands, punk bands, rock bands. And I was certainly getting into electronic music. With Underworld, Left Field, Chemical Brothers, Daft Punk, Photech, LTJ Buchan. Aphex Twin kind of passed me by. I only really got into Aphex Twin when he released Come to Daddy in about 97 or so. And then a little bit later than that, it was one of the greatest music videos of all time, Window Licker. I suggest, right, anyone who's watching this now is probably an Aphex Twin fan, alright? But if you're not, then go and watch the video for Window Licker. One of the greatest introductions of the musician to the video ever. And certainly when I talk about using music as an antidote to life, Window Licker. Oh, listen to that hi-hat there. That's clever. That's clever. It sounds at the right speed at the moment. Funny, the reputation that Aphex Twin's got. I kind of think of him as like the Banksy of music. There's always a little bit of a mysterious presence around the scene, even when I was into like gigging live and dipping my toes into electronic music. Because there was that time in the mid-90s was a little bit of a crossover in the kind of rock indie world. Spearheaded, really, by Underworld, Chemical Brothers, the Orbital, and Daft Punk. But Aphex Twin always seemed a little bit... If you've got a box... I'm not going to say he was out... think outside the box! Think outside the box! But he was a little bit outside the box. And he's a difficult guy to pin down, really, because I think he's got a reputation as a little bit of a tall storyteller. So he kind of invents his own history. And I quite like that. I quite like that. I do quite like that. Yeah, I do quite like that. Inventing oneself. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't really ambient, was it? I was thinking of Aphex Twin as having like elements of ambient, but when I think of Window Licker's not ambient, Come to Daddy's not ambient. Come to Daddy is like heavy metal. And Window Licker is a kind of, the video is a kind of pastiche of hip hop. You should go and watch the video to Window Licker, it's very funny. It's taking the piss out of hip hop, really. But the music itself is clever. I think it's that, I don't know who coined it, and I've never really been too involved in it, but that intelligent dance music stuff. I think you'd have to apply that label to this kind of stuff, wouldn't you? I think Aphex Twin himself doesn't like the label because he says it suggests that if you make intelligent dance music, it suggests that all the other forms of dance music are stupid. And as we know from our journey on this channel, dangerous to call music stupid. Dangerous to call music stupid. Some of my favourite songs of all time could be considered stupid if you compare them to Mozart and Beethoven and Leonard Cohen. Do you know what I mean? Samples going on here. Swamping everything in reverb. Already I like the fact that the music metamorphosizes over its journey. This is the sort of music you'd listen to while you're reading Kafka, I think. So as the album title says, selected works from 85 to 92. He was beavering away in his youth, I think, on minimalist equipment at home, putting music onto cassette tapes. And I believe that what we're listening to now is a collection of those recordings. So we're talking lo-fi recording here. This actually sounds pretty good to me. If this is lo-fi, holy hell. I suppose what we've got in the background is probably tape hiss. But as I've got vinyl surface noise anyway, actually sounds pretty clean. The record looks really clean. And even when I put the needle down at the beginning, it was really clean, wasn't it? I imagine this is music to put on when you're studying. Those of you who are at college or school, used to try and study in my youth listening to heavy metal, but I think there's definitely an issue with trying to concentrate while you're listening to lyrics, music with lyrics. It's alright, I just spilled coffee on the floor. Music to spill coffee by. This is Soundscapes. And it's funny, isn't it, when I was listening to Jean-Michel Jarre, we did an Equinox reaction on his channel back along. But certainly when you listen to Jean-Michel Jarre, Oxygen or Equinox, similar vibes. This is like it's an evolution, isn't it? He's taken the idea of the music and he's evolving. He's not revolving, he's evolving. Some of you know what I'm referencing there. I don't I evolve. I don't revolve. I'm more satisfied that I'm listening to it at the correct speed because the voices in the background sound right. Oh, that's good. That's good. Repetition. This is repetition with evolution. I like that. I was only talking with someone yesterday. We were referencing Daft Punk actually. I was telling him about the first time I heard Defunk. Wow, 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 wow. And we were saying how, as people in bands at the time, Defunk came along with that had a music video where he's dressed as a dog. If you haven't seen it, similar era to Come to Daddy, I think, or Window Licker. But we were talking about that sort of style of music with like Around the World, and you just take a fragment, take an idea, a beat or a melody, and you loop it, and you loop it, and you loop it. And we were saying, as musicians, we'd come up with a riff, and that could be the verse, and then we'd have to come up with another riff for the chorus, and then we need a bridge section, and it was all about, you could never just come up with one idea and extend it out. It had to be, there's the verse, there's the intro, there's the bridge, there's the chorus, piecing it all together like a jigsaw puzzle. So the idea of someone just taking an idea and looping it and looping it and looping it, and that's kind of what's going on here. But I'm noticing that it's like liquid. It's liquid. It's not solid, it's liquid. It's funny, around the time that he was making this music, I was very much ensconced in the world of rock and heavy metal. And so the people that were listening to this, they were kind of into acid house and Raves were a thing back then in like the early 90s. But I really back then had nothing to do with it. I was just a rocker. It really was that kind of mid-90s period that I even started embracing this even a little bit. And also, like I keep saying many times, I put Dr. Octagon into that bracket as well for introducing me a little bit to the idea that that I could enjoy rap music as a rocker. That's good. Yeah, repetition. So we decided that repetition in music can obviously, well, it can obviously make you a lot of money, make you a star, but it's more than that. It's definitely artistically valid, isn't it? And I often talk about comedy and repetition in comedy, the repetition of a funny idea or a funny moment, and it gets funnier and funnier and funnier. There's the Dan scene, if you know what I'm on about, the Dan scene from Alan Partridge. It's Peter Griffin trying to get the toad out of the window with a stick. I just love repetition. And I'm gonna film a podcast tomorrow about the 1999 movie, I think, Office Space. And I think the idea of repetition features heavily in that film. But repetition in a bad way. Isn't it funny? It's a fine line. I think Baldrick says it in Blackadder, I think. I'd have to check who says it, but anyway. It's a fine line between clever and stupid. It is, isn't it? It's a fine line between clever and stupid. And that kind of goes for everything in life. Richard D. James uses repetition and makes a career out of it. If you or I did it, someone would say, "Get on with it, mate! Are you going to join me for side B?" Side A kicked ass. Side B. Aegis Polis. Agace Polis. 5 minutes, 21 seconds. Oh, I referenced this in the previous video. This sounds a little bit like hot butter popcorn. If you're ever gonna listen to the song Popcorn, do listen to the cover version by Hot Butter. It's probably one of those times that the cover version's better than the original. Oh, yeah. So he's calling this ambient, right? I'm not sure this is ambient, with a beat so strong. When I think of ambient, I think of like Brian Eno. I suppose we're talking about lush pads, calming ethereal landscape, repetitive, bouncing, reverby beats. Whoa! Liquid bass. Yeah, liquid bass. Oh! It's just like dropping the back of a skateboard into the dirt. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Suddenly shifts the beat up. Okay. I thought maybe I'd recognise. I know this is like a classic album, so I thought I might recognise it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think I do, but so far. This is good, isn't it? This is good. Yeah, this is good. That's good. Oh, that is good. I take it he's just playing the melody on some old Casio keyboard. I mean, the drums have got some bite to them. To call this, when someone tells you they recorded something in their bedroom on crappy old instruments, you always think it's going to be amateurish. But then you have to remember what that really means these days, because like, I mean, like we've come into this knowing Aphex Twin is a bit of a genius, haven't we? So we knew it was going to sound fantastic. Then you think of something like original Pirate Material by Mike Skinner, The Streets, basically recorded in a cupboard in his bedroom, and sounds. Even the stuff I can record in here. Let's face it, I know that most people who watch this channel are very young, but there was a band called the Beatles once, and they recorded most of their albums in a studio in London called Abbey Road. And at one time it was like the kind of pride of the world. Everyone wanted to record at Abbey Road. But honestly, you got more power in the smartphone in your pocket than there was in Abbey Road in the 60s. Let's face it, you got more power on your phone in your pocket than NASA sent sent a man to the moon. That was me not remembering which Apollo mission it was. The first successful mission to the moon, Apollo 11. I don't know. Getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So keep all your clothes on. I, 1 minute 13. Sounds like a little Vangelis-esque interlude. I was watching Extras yesterday. Ricky Gervais's comedy he did after The Office. If you haven't seen it, I think it's underrated. It got a lot of flack, but it's absolutely superb. And I was watching the Les Dennis episode. If you know it, you know it. Well, that is a hell of a performance by Les Dennis in that episode. An Aphex Twin never thought that there'd be a middle-aged bloke talking about Les Dennis over the top of I, 1 minute 13. But it happened. It happened. This one sounds noisy. Oh! Okay. It was just quieter for a moment. Oh, that sounds hectic. Yeah, like I said, I think that Richard D. James invents his life, at least to discuss it with the media, to discuss it with the press, to the point where you don't know what's fact and what's fiction. And I find a lot of the time the truth is somewhere between fact and fiction. For all of us. Yeah, for all of us. We all invent our memories. Things happen. And then I'm at Doctor Who now. It sounds like Doctor Who playing table tennis in an underground train station. Wow. Yeah, we invent memories. Don't pretend that we don't. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. The ability to remember things differently to how they might have actually occurred. And to then relay the story differently to how it might have actually occurred. And then, in the process of relaying stories over multiple years, the facts change. And in the end, the story you're telling may be so far from what actually happened. But the thing is, it's useful. It's useful. If you're famous, it can be your thing. Someone who is a fabrication. And it doesn't matter, like a Lana Del Rey, it doesn't matter. Or someone like David Bowie, recreating yourself to the point where people forget that you once used to break dance with a gnome. Or maybe I recreated that memory. Break dancing with a gnome. This is fantastic. I got into jungle music in the 90s. Like sped up beats. A lot of break beats and cutting and splicing. And I think Aphex Twin was getting into all that sort of stuff. I think Aphex Twin has actually has gone on record as saying that jungle music is one of the most purest forms of music. I love that. Because I remember when I first heard jungle in the 90s when I was playing in bands, you know, hitting guitars and sweating and drinking beer, and you hear jungle and you're like, what the? Goldie's like timeless, and I suppose I'm talking about that LTJ Buckham stuff, that kind of era anyway. I'll tell you another album. Everyone is watching this now because you're obviously an Aphex Twin fan. Just bear with me. I'm probably mentioning all the mainstream stuff. You're like, but This reminds me of stuff like Music for the Jilted Generation. Oh, God, I love that album. God, I love that album. And that whole combining beats with samurai stuff. Was that like Photech? You wonder what he was doing, how he was doing this in his bedroom. When you've got like volume swells and stuff. Was he just literally doing that with knobs onto a cassette tape? We'll probably find he had the most incredible home setup. Oh wow. Oh, that's good. You wouldn't have thought that today is about to be one of the worst days of my life, but I'm sitting here with you now, listening to an album recorded decades ago, which I've had every opportunity to listen to over the years, and yet I never have. And it takes until 2024 and episode 208 of a YouTube music review channel for me to listen to Aphex Twin's selected ambient works 1985 to 1992. So what I was saying earlier, right, I think I mentioned this so many times before, but it's almost like people think I'm doing this for views, right? Because there's certainly no money, but I'm doing this for views. But not really. I've always loved music, right? And this series has been like an enforced journey for me into the unknown. So yeah, it's nice if you get views, and it's lovely that you are on this journey with me, but it's just like life's too short, yeah? We need to take all of this stuff and just put it in here. I bought a pair of headphones earlier. I pressed click, I pressed buy. Little earbuds. Because I'm, to go with my phone. So I can just start to listen to music everywhere all the time. I know that's what the youth does. I see the youth have always got their AirPod. Is it AirPods? What do you call them? The Apple things. I'll literally be speaking with people and I'll notice that they've got earphones in. I'll be like, a bit odd. It didn't happen in my day. In my day, when you had a Sony Walkman, right, which was like a cassette player that you put on your belt, if you had headphones on, right, people knew it. They look like this. But now, the youth of today, right, will have their Apple iPhone AirPods or whatever in, right? But because they've also got long hair, you can't see they've got headphones in. And then they're listening to music while they're talking to you. It's almost like they're listening to a record while talking over the top of it. How rude! Music is an escape. It can be an escape. It can be an escape. And when you're dreading the future, you can escape on the approach to it. And if you're dreading the present, you can mask it. You can mask it. There's no singing, right? But the melodies carry it through to the point where you do call these songs. I would call it a song. Is there an argument that every song can be improved with singing and lyrics? Discuss. Are you going to join me for side C? There's something really rhythmic going to be going on there. I always blow it because there's always a hair on the needle. Well, not always, but... Well, that's deep. I can sense a pelican might be coming across the screen in a moment. Not yet.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Oh, God. Gene Wilder. Okay. I recognise that sample straight off the bat because that is one of the greatest little phrases that's ever been spoken in any film ever. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Gene Wilder's character in that film is just another level. We are the music makers. And we are the dreamers of dreams. And this would have been recorded so long ago, he could have used an Atari ST and some MIDI software. He could have done it to the grid, but he also could have just played all of this live. Set drum machines running, played the melodies over the top. I need to look into it actually. I'm assuming he was using some sort of AK MPC sampler. There's a damn good chance that Aphex Twin was using like an Atari ST in the 80s. Let me just check that. Richard use Atari ST as a MIDI sequencer on his early works? Someone else has already asked the question. It's generally known he used a tracker, probably Player Pro for Mac. No, I'm talking about before that. This is just someone spouting their opinion. Hang on. Wow! Okay, pelican. Fucking pelican.
We are the music makers, and we are the
dreamers of dreams. Wow. Oh my God. With headphones on as well. I mean, I'm usually, well, you could tell from my comment earlier about finally buying some headphones to sort of have. When I'm not in here, I tend to have all my music just playing through speakers. I like the music to sort of fill the air. But when you have got music like this, just fed directly into your fucking brain, yes. We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams. We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams. Oh. Hang on. According to some of his more recent interviews, he used an Atari for his earliest stuff and then moved to a Mac in the mid-90s. So I think I might have hit the nail on the head. It probably did use an Atari ST in the 80s. No one's really confirming that, but yeah, I can't really see. Can't see anyone confirming it, but he said he started with a Yamaha QX21. Let's look up that. I think I remember that one. Yamaha QX.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
So apparently he started using one of those things. But I think you can hear here that he's playing this. I mean, he flammed that one a little bit. No, he's doing it every time. Hang on. Okay, that's sequence as well. That is sequence. For those of you who don't know, the Atari ST was the first sort of home computer that had a built-in MIDI interface, MIDI ports. Well, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. Don't go proving me wrong. Sort of look like that. I never had one, strangely, because I was more into gaming. So I had a Commodore Amiga. But certainly if you and the Commodore Amiga had an amazing sound chip in it. But certainly if you were into music production, you wanted to have an Atari ST. And going back to my early days in the band, actually my early days, around 1996, my band started to dabble with sequencing, MIDI sequencing. So we had a drummer, a bass player, guitar, me on vocals. But we had an Atari ST in the studio, and we started to get into that kind of thing. At the time, it was stuff like a band like Manson were doing at the time. I'm in a wide open space. You either know it or you don't. But
We are the music
that crossover.
and we are the
Dreamers of Dreams. That crossover I was talking about, basically. All your traditional bands were just trying to get a little bit electronic. And the electronic bands were trying to get a little bit more real. I suppose that's where the Prodigy comes into it. Around the time of like Firestarter and that. But funnily enough, I didn't really notice because I was just not really concentrating, but that track was called We Are the Music. That track was called We Are the Music Makers. We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams. We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams. Recreating memories. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole like essay to be had there, a whole discussion to be had there about the idea of false memories. My point is, yeah, there's false memories, but a lot of the time you create false memories for your own good. for your own benefit. Another funny thing about what's this now? This is Shockey 7th Path. Shockey 7th Path. Okay, hang on a minute. Before I go on another rant about something, let's just see who Shockey is. I don't know. Shockey. Oh, well, when I type Shockey in, all that comes up is that. This sounds amazing, I've got to say. Yeah, it sounds amazing. Yeah, it sounds amazing. Yeah, episode 208. It's a shame that YouTube forced me to do so many cuts and splices and things just to get through copyright, really, because if I could have had 208 episodes up on YouTube in full, in a row, that would have been an incredible diary of my life. Because over the years, I don't hold back when I'm doing my pieces to camera. It would have documented a lot. As it is, it's all a bit broken up and sporadic. The good thing about Patreon at the moment is that certainly the diary is back. It's in... Whoa! He's turned the volume up. If you watch every episode on Patreon, then you get that kind of like journey of my life. Certainly it's documenting it for me. Pads underneath. Pump up the jam, pump it up. But yeah, bad day, a bad day. Let's see if this final track does have some kind of weird rhythmical presence to it. 'Cause it looks like it does. There's that old 90s staple cowbell, whatever it is, sound. Whoa! Okay, this is the most sort of traditional sounding song yet. Whoa! Okay. This almost sounds most like it's soundtracking a Ferris Bueller's Day Off. the end of the bars. Nope. Out. Well, I recognise that tune. Recognise that. Don't know where from. It's not impossible, it's from this song, I suppose. It's got a little bit of like a Madonna or sure. It must be the really strong groove. Oh, the really strong groove of the music that's producing a really distinctive groove on the vinyl. There's that kind of real distinctive, like 1990 acid house keyboard. Melody harmonising with the bass line. Bit of squelch, filtering the bass up. So far it's been fantastic, hasn't it? There hasn't been a bad track yet, has there? I mean, if I'm trying to say that, if I'm trying to suggest that music can be as good as a psychotherapist or a shrink or like tablets or whatever, pills, popping a pill, I don't know. This is going some way. towards affirming it. I need something. I need something. I need something today. We all have our woes, don't we? And maybe you've got woes today. Wow. Is Aphex Twin helping you right now? Music as medicine. Are you going to join me for side D? Side D. Headphelum. 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 Delphium. Actium. Headphelum. Delphium. Actium. They sound like elements. And this is the sort of rhythmic pulsing that turns your brain into sludge. Unless you move your head like that, the brain just does that. Whoa! It sounds like a nightmare ice cream van. An ice cream van trudging down the street, trundling. An ice cream van trundling down the street on a winter's day. The rain's lashing down and there's a dead body strapped to the roof. And they're still playing the tune and the kids are still coming out. Come out to play. Come to daddy. Actually, it sounds like deformed church bells. Deformed church bells. Headphelum. Along with an Atari VCS. Very different to an Atari ST. This sounds very much like an Atari VCS. Let me show you what one of those looks like. Hang on. Like that. See that? Like that. Saying Delphium. Oh. No. Not Delphium. Headphelum. Headphelum. Song by Aphex Twin. I'm trying to see what headphelum means. It seems like he's just made it up. I think he just made it up as a name. like church bells. Hang on. I can't find anything. He's just so elusive. All I've got is Reddit threads. I tend not to bother reading Reddit threads because it's just a bunch of people speculating about shit. So if you know... I was going to say, if you know anything about these songs, type it down below, but... yeah, that's very Atari VCS. So I can hear... I think it's my brain, my imagination making me hear monks chanting in the background. Yeah, gone a little bit at Casio rhythm track with the bongos and the congos, conga drums and the bongo drums and the conga drums and the bongo drums. Clap. What's that? It's a snare. Very Casio. Sounds like a snare and a clap at the same time. Who knows? Melody with a delay. I'm bouncing the delay around. It takes a lot of concentration to shake a shaker. I just make it look easy. Shut up. Shut up. Yeah. It's a bit underworld, is it? Second toughest in the infants. Well, I mean, Underworld's second toughest in the Infants is a bit like this. Red, green, yellow, blue, green, red, yellow, red, blue, green, red, yellow, red, blue, green, 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 green. Music is saving me. For as long as this record lasts. And then when the music's over, the void returns. And we await episode 209. Do keep giving me suggestions for future reactions. It may seem like I don't act upon them, but I really do. I really do. I just don't have a production house around me. It's just me. It's me doing everything. I don't even outsource the editing. I do everything. And like I said, it's a journey and I enjoy it all. Because I think it makes me a better person. Maybe. Or maybe I just talk a load of fucking incredibly... Maybe I just talk bollocks. We have to weigh up. You can re-platform memories and you can create your own history. And during all of that, you have to work out whether people are full of shit or not. In my defense, I'm always honest to you guys. My downfall, probably. My downfall. Oh, this is the final track, and I can imagine it. Oh, okay, similar. This is very Jean-Michel Jarre. Very Jean-Michel Jarre. Actium. If I type into Google, right? Actium, Jean-Michel Jarre. Let's see whether anyone else has ever said it. Okay, Actium is a town in Greece. A town of ancient Greece that overlooked the naval battle in 31 BC, at which Octavian's fleet under Agrippa defeated that of Mark Antony and Cleopatra. Anyway, let's type Actium in and Jean-Michel Jarre. I can't see. Sounded almost like that was going to skip then, didn't it? Did he just say Actium then? Actium. can't see anyone else ever saying it. Hang on. Actium. Actium? Yeah. Nope. Nope. Oh, let me type sounds like. Sounds like. Okay, I can't see anyone else saying that this song sounds like Jean-Michel Jarre, but it does to me. And on this channel, my opinion is the only one that counts. Mine, and remember, and yours. But just yours. Because there's only you and me in this room. Other channels have millions of views and things, but here, there's only two. It's just you and me. Listen to that noise in the background. It's like the noise is the music. Oh, this sounds like Jimmy Tanner was doing stuff like this in the late 90s, wasn't he? Or the early noughties. Like a roller coaster, baby! Going down! Maybe it was called Roller Coaster. Bouncing that beach ball. Slapping that ass. No, not slapping the ass. Bouncing the beach ball. Whoa. Oh! Filtering till it becomes a mush. Till it becomes a mush. Mushy peas. My favourite food in the world. Fish, chips and mushy peas. Aphex Twin, selected ambient works, 85 to 92. Fish, chips and mushy peas for the soul. Put some salt and vinegar on. And a squeeze of lemon, a dollop of tartar sauce, and put your face in it. Until next time, over and